Welcome back to FS22 and Ravenwood Farm. I think I have made a decision about the old John Deere. I think it's going to go. I don't know why, I'm finding it really hard to make decisions about buying things in both of my FS22 games at the moment. But yeah, I think this guy is going to go the 4755. Just check on the silage. Silage is fermented because the thing we need to do today is give the cows a whole load of feed. They're pretty low on food, so we're going to sort that out. But the first thing I need to do is go and get this guy sold. Two reasons. One, it's very slow. And two, I was going to say three then. I have a lot of John Deere stuff. And because I like John Deere. But I want to get another John Deere tractor on the survival challenge, probably, because I found a couple of fairly cheap options for tractors on there, and I don't want to have all John Deere on all of the games that I'm playing. So she is going after not very long. We're probably going to have to borrow a bit more money, which is not awesome, but not really a problem. I'm not opposed to borrowing money on here to experience some different things, and we're going to get another brand of tractor. So we'll run up to the store and we'll have a look at what we can buy. I will see you in a second. Just rolling up to the store. Much quicker, obviously, on the back of the low loader. And we are going to go for, I think, a case. I do like a case. And we have some options. It's going to be so much better when they're obviously making the blindingly obvious that when more mods are available, it will be better. Of course, it will be better. And I do like me a cheap tractor, so we're going to have a look at the options. I should probably have a quick look through, and so we got 83,000 for that. We only did not even 3 hours, and they already want 9 grand to repaint it after 3 hours work. Seriously, I'll repair it because generally that does give you a nice boost on what it's worth. Let's sell that off, $85,000 in the bank, and let's go and do some shopping, shall we? Actually, I want to have a look in the garage at some of the implements that we run. So the mulcher is 150, not so worried about that. Disc is 390, 180, 300, 160. That's pretty much it. So really we're looking for at least 180 horsepower to run the seeder. So what have we got in here? That looks interesting. Nope. Nope. Almost. And goes to 175. I do like a Maxim. Bit of Tom Pemberton vibe. 175 would probably run the seeder. 205 would definitely run the seeder. That's 150,000. And that's like, that's a 31 mile an hour. That's 31. Let's go to medium tractor, shall we? I had decided I was going to buy a case, but actually we're going to do a little bit of browsing. What about a Massey? That's a 31 mile an hour gearbox. And we need a bit more power. 185, 140,000, 250,000. I haven't checked the deals, have I? No. Ooh. Ooh. A square baler for 50,000. That's very, very tempting. As is that a mower? I'm not sure. That is very tempting, that square baler. My plough didn't appear. How much? No, it's 230. So maybe we should look for a tractor that can run that as well. We might be talking very nicely to the bank manager. And that means going up quite a bit to something like that, which is 200,000 then. We have got so what I really wanted to go for the MB track, but it's got some errors in the log. I don't particularly want anything with errors in the log, so I'm actually going to remove that. This is what I was pretty much set on, was going for the old case. And we could push that up to 260. That's 150,000. We're spending 150,000 anyway. That's a lot more, isn't it? Oh, I've got that. My brain's stuck again. Let's buy the baler, because I think that's too good a deal to not buy. Ooh. And it looks quite good in the US configuration. Let me go for standard wheels. So let's buy that. So we now need something that can run it. And we need to borrow some money. I'm kind of hitting screw it phase on the borrowing money bit. Let's push the loan up to 450. So we've got, let's see what we can get for $180,000. This so wasn't my plan. Particularly, can we get, no, we can't get in the bottom end of the large tractor, so we're in a medium. In a medium. And Z-Tour is not enough. It's not really enough, is it? Because it was 250, I think, wasn't it? 230. No, that's not really enough. I don't want to be struggling for power. The McCormick. The no. I'm really tempted by a class. Do you know what I'd really like to get? Sorry, I'm really rambling through this, aren't I? I'd really like to get one of those, because I've been watching Ollie Blogs with his, and yeah, there's no way we can afford that yet. But that's such a nice tractor in the real world. We don't have any. I guess there's always our fairy dust tractor. It would mean borrowing a bit more cash. But it's a John Deere. No, we're not getting another John Deere. I need to uninstall that, really. That was more just having a bit of a laugh. So we are, the McCormick is looking like the option we can afford. Except when I bump it up to 240 horsepower, it's more than we can. Let's go for a US spec. I've already forgotten how much horsepower we need, so 260 should be enough. So that can be $214,000. That is a lot of tractor. That is a lot of tractor. Now, realistically, we could put the Fendt on the baler. I'm going to go and look at some mods, I think. I'll be back. I think I've decided we're going to stick with the original plan. I don't need to run the baler on the new tractor. So, although I really dislike upgrading partway, that completely upgrading, because I was thinking maybe I could tune it later, but let's just go for it. Stop procrastinating and buy the darn tractor. wheels. Yeah, I get total decision paralysis at the moment on this kind of stuff. Here for trailer balks. Wides with weights. Buy. Bang. Done. Why did you have to give me the option of the baler game? We take the baler back to the farm before we repair it because we don't need it for a while. This is a big baler, isn't it? I think we'll run that on the back of the fence actually. Well, that was totally unexpected, planned, etc. And ended up with me waffling a heck of a lot. I'm wondering if... Not sure we're even going to fit the baler and the tractor on the trailer. We'll try. Yeah. Might end up... First thing we need to do is make the trailer wider. Let's get that going. Yep. That will at least make it easier for my fairly average driving skills to get it on there. Looks like it might fit without doing that, but it's a damn big baler, isn't it? I don't think I've ever seen one of those in the real world to appreciate how big it is. Yeah. I think what we'll do is we will bung him on auto drive. And I'll jump back in here. No. Ramps up, straps on, and we'll take this back down to the yard. So I seem to have spent a whole load of time waffling and not deciding about buying a tractor. So I think at this point we will bung it on a time lapse, and I need to get the cows completely fed, and then progress and see if actually let's look in the calendar before we do that. Grass can be harvested all the way through, so there is a good chance I think that we might get a grass cut in before winter kicks in properly. So the loose plan for today is get the cows all fed and then try and skip ahead to see if we can get a grass cut in before winter hits. So future me will be back with you in a bit. And here he is. I'm having so much pain getting stuff recorded today. But let's get this baler unloaded and over to the garage to be repaired. This is a big old baler as well. So we're going to try and back it in first person view. About my rant a second ago. So wife and daughter are out for a few hours, so I thought I'd get some recording done. They have phoned me multiple times. My wife's left her mobile phone here and it keeps ringing and it's really freaking loud. So I'm recording this again because the last video had her phone ringing in the background. Right, enough ranting. Let's make some TMR, shall we? So going for 2 bales of hay and then filling the rest with silage, and it turns out this is slightly too much hay. So we end up with forage rather than TMR, which is a bit annoying. But on the plus side, the cow pen will take it and it takes out the hay due to weird FS mechanics, and gives us the space we need then to put in the rest of the silage that we need. So I think I've said in the intro, my hope for today's video is to get towards making some hay and mowing all the grass that we have. We have a lot of grass to mow. So yeah, let's just put that little bit of extra silage in, and there we go, we have TMR. So we can now get the cows fed. I'm hoping to get to the point where both cow pens are full of feed or pretty much full, and then every day we'll just add a bit more because I like feeding the cows every day. It's something that I do in most of my games, because with real seasons you could only feed the animals for 2 days obviously. So mixing up another batch of TMR, this time doing 2 scoops of silage and then the rest hay. And what this does mean is we end up with some partial hay bales with the new mechanic of how bales empty, which is slightly weird, but it works. It lets us get done what we need to get done. So we could do with a slightly bigger TMR mixer at some point. I think that would be sensible, and some bigger cow pens. So there's a couple of really nice cow pens that have been released. I can't remember the model name, that are beef pens, but they're quite big, but they hold 500 head of beef. Yeah, which if I hadn't set this farm up, I would probably have included one. But at this point, I don't think we have the space or the funding to do that. I am debating increasing the capacity of the animal pens that we have to be a bit more in line with what you could do with FS19. If you have an opinion on that and you're watching, let me know. I'd be curious what people think about whether we should up the capacity to maybe like 250 per pen rather than 80, which I think it is at the moment. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, and it's a fairly easy edit. So let's get some milk sold. I've got 18,000 litres of milk already, so I'm just going to take this up to the dairy. The grass is ready to cut, which is cool, and I would like to get a front mower to go with the side mower that we have. With the release of the Kverneland Vicon mowers from Giants, we can actually get a matching front mower, which will almost double our mower width. And it's still different to running what I normally do, which would be the butterfly mower setup. So yeah, I'm looking at getting that done, so we'll run the case up to the shop to get that brought. So getting it branded. We're also going to get a grass roller, because we'll be using that to re-fertilise everything. But yeah, getting it branded as Kverneland to match our mower that we have, which is a base game mower. Going to run these on the little 6R again, because it's such an awesome tractor. My mobile phone is going now. Why won't everyone just leave me the fuck alone? Oh, I swore. Oops. Oh well. Using VCA GPS, and it works really well. Deals really well with the offset. It doesn't deal so well with the fact that when you turn, the offset needs to change. And if you use VCA GPS and you know of a key that lets me do that without opening the VCA menu, because I know you can open the menu and press X and it will swap the offset, but I'm trying to avoid doing that. Then yeah, if you know of that, that would be really cool. What I end up doing is basically resetting every row, which is quite quick, and yeah, it's not too painful actually. And letting it recalculate. Mowing all two of these fields as one. I'll do the little one separately with just the front mower, but I can mow all of these as one field fairly easily. And, get this job knocked out pretty quick. What I'm going to do is the field that is our grass field, I'm going to bale as hay, and then this cover crop I'm probably going to make a silage, because we've got quite a lot of hay and not a lot of silage. So that's the plan. And then we'll at some point we'll get this road up and baled up. We need to ted the hay, obviously, which is, yay, my favourite job in farm sim. So you can see when I turn around, I just clear the GPS course off and recreate it. It's really quick. Yeah, it's like 2 key presses and you're done. And yeah, and these mowers are working really well. Finding them really cool. We do need some fuel, so getting a fuel delivery of a couple of 1,000 litres of diesel. Really like that mechanic in FS22, but rather than the just buying it is unrealistic. The having to go and pick it up from the store, in my mind, is also unrealistic, because most farmers probably get diesel delivered by a fuel company. So yeah, I really like that addition. It's awesome. Very happy with that. And now just getting this grass cut. Did find that the grass that we mowed a couple of videos ago, or a video ago, has also grown enough that we can cut it. So did a little bit at the top there, but not going to do what we did last time, and go around and mow all of that, which is maybe a waste, because we're, you know, it was 90,000 litres of hay, I think, that we're potentially not getting, but I just didn't feel like going over and doing that other field. This field's done, so we'll drop off the rear mower, use the front mower to get this little area mown. It feels so small it's almost useless, and I think in future upgrades we might use this as a placeables area, because it's fairly flat, and a lot of this farmyard area that we've used is not completely flat. So yeah, this is a good option for maybe putting in some other things that we might look at doing. Maybe some greenhouses, maybe not, I'm not sure. Yeah, but Probably this space is destined for expansion depending on how long we play on here. As maps are dropping, I'm thinking we might only do 1 year on here. So we might run through to Harvest next year and call it a day on here, depending on what's available as other options. So I got the tedder out, favourite job in Farm Sim. Tedding this little area, and then I'll go and do the other bit. And the reason I'm doing it this way is I'm curious to see how much hay we're going to get off our fields, which we are dedicating to producing hay. Basically, the big field above us is going to be maize for maize silage next year in the spring. So I just wanted to get an idea as to whether we're going to get enough hay off of what we've set aside for grassland to keep the cows fed. It actually looks like quite a small area once it's all planted and mown. We have the other bit over the road that we mowed last time, which we could add in, so probably don't have an issue. So just finishing up the last couple of rows of tedding, and then we'll break the windrow out, get it all rowed up and baled. I'm going to tackle the other grass area, the big field next to us, in the next video as silage. And with the way things are going, that might just be a straight time lapse. It might not have the intro. We'll see. I could really do with a bigger windrower. This one is borderline for my my view as to whether it's worth spending the time windrowing versus just running the bale around. I guess with the way we spread it out for hay, you couldn't just run the bale around, but just trying to use coarse plate with the 6M and the windrower. I don't actually seem to get it to work. I think it goes straight onto a normal worker. I've since done a bit more playing with coarse plate, and I kind of got my head around how to use it. So yeah, you may actually be seeing this after I've released a tutorial video on how to use coarse plate. So yeah, I would hope that I've worked out how to get it to work. This one just seemed to not pick up the coarse plate course, so that's pretty sure it's just running on a worker. Anyway, hay is all grown up, so let's get our New Holland baler in action. It looks really cool in the red as well. I've not seen them in red before. And we're going to make the biggest bales we can, I think, on here. I think that's what I've got it set to. I think I've got it set to the biggest. To be honest, see, this is coarse plate doing weird stuff. So I might even actually end up just putting it on a worker. That looks like it's picked up coarse plate. Let's hope. I can't actually remember how big the bales I've been making on here. I recorded this quite a while ago, and we've had Christmas holidays and time with family and all that stuff, which has meant I couldn't actually get to record things or record commentaries for things. So I've got a whole load of videos stacked up that are part edited, waiting commentary, which is what I'm doing now. And I've done them all by the time you get to hear this. So yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit, so I'm going to leave some music playing. So thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll catch you next time on Ravenwood Farm.